So now we're on to another repair. This isn't quite as expensive or quite as drastic, but when they're talking 9-degree weather coming up, it's probably just as important. Let me see if I can open the hood here. Hold on a second. Get the hood open on the Ghost truck, and we're going to replace, you can't see it yet, I'll show you. There's a vacuum motor right under here. We're looking at the front of the truck. That's the passenger side. I really haven't looked yet, but I think the vacuum motor is under here. Or a little air compressor, little vacuum motor. It is a vacuum motor. And what that does, create vacuum to run all your HVAC systems, your heater, air conditioning in the truck. You know, when you turn your switches, flip your dials. Without getting into details, a diesel does not create, turbocharged diesel does not create enough vacuum, well, may not create any vacuum without getting any details, to run those type of things. So you have to run a little motor to do that. And on this truck, it happens to be a mechanical, or not a mechanical, a little electric motor, and I'll show you here in a little bit. I think this little cover will come off, these nuts. That's why I think I may have replaced this before, but I don't know. You know, everybody says, well, you probably didn't replace it because that cover's still on there, but I would have probably put the cover back on, knowing me. And that's what it looks like, if you can see it right there, for that piece right here. I think we'll get her changed out here. This trying to repair costs for more coffee, so we're going to open up here and check it out. The missus picked it up while I was out of town, and we looked at it, assuming it's the right one. I'm sure it is. Got it from the local auto parts store. I didn't order it online, so it is a standard product. Well, by all intensive purposes, I believe that's it. I've changed this one. I don't think I've changed on this truck. I think I changed it once on the previous truck. I've changed once, I believe one time. I don't remember which truck, but with any luck at all, it's in a big job. I can't remember. I think there may be one bolt that's kind of hard to get to, but we'll figure it out here. With the old, like that. And then in with the new. So far, no big project. We'll find out here, get her all back together. Biggest deal is getting the electrical connection unplugged. Because you never know if you're going to have to break them, or they always come apart a little bit different if you don't do it every day. Something else I like to do on this electrical connection, where this little electrical vacuum motor, I'll put dielectric grease on it. I'm kind of old school, but you see a little bit of gray matter on those bolts if you look real close. That's anti-seize. Anti-seize compound comes in a little container like this, and actually it lasts forever. I mean, this is old enough. It's a metal can. The new one's similar, are plastic. And the dielectric grease, I think that's actually a tin container, and I think the new big one I got is probably plastic, or whatever you want to call it. So this stuff lasts a long time. Well, I've had several of these little ones. I never could find the big one. I finally found a big one, tube of it. So since everything anymore has so many electric connections, they don't figure the little ones are going to do it anymore, so they got it in a big tube anyway. So that's where we're at. Either gets anti-seize or Loctite normally, because it's either going to have to come back apart sometime, or you don't want to vibrate loose. In this case, there's a lot of vibration to this, so you think, well, you might want to use Loctite. But it's actually mounted this metal bracket, then the pump actually mounts with metal, kind of like a engine mount. So it really doesn't vibrate. Otherwise, it'd make a lot of noise if it's on there rattling all the time. So it doesn't. I mean, you won't even know it's on. So anyway, that calls for, in my book, anti-seize. Even though the bolts came loose easy, anti-seize, they won't come out. The older it gets, the harder it will be to get any bolts loose. So you always keep that in mind. Oh, just a few days later, and end up taking it out to Wilburn's, Justin's, and they put a transmission in it, as I've told in the previous video. And when I went to get the truck, he said, "Oh," he says, "You don't have any," he says, "you don't have any air coming out your vents." He says, "Probably your vacuum pump's bad." And I said, "Yeah, you're probably right." I said, "I had noticed." I said, "Other than the missus did mention it to me previously, and it did not register." So anyway, I ordered a vacuum pump from the Dave up here at the Auto Parts. That's Jamestown Auto Parts. And he got it in, but when he got it in, I was gone, and just got back actually yesterday evening and put it on this morning. And why I'm doing it now, it's supposed to be about 90 today, and when I got up this morning at about 4:45, me and the missus, it was all, humidity was already 95%. So I decided I'm going to get this project done early and not be out when it's really hot. So I just kind of took my time. It took, I don't know, maybe a half hour. I don't really know. Unplug a vacuum line, unplug electrical connection, and 2 10mm bolts. Pretty much it. And of course, some coffee. Always. And that is Blues Brothers blend, Blues Brother beans. It's good. And as I mentioned, anti-seize, dielectric grease, very important if you're working on stuff. I can't say enough about that. Ooh, light's glaring in there. And except we started early, finished early. I've not driven this truck much since put the tranny in it, so I'm going to drive it later on today while it's got while it's really warm, see what kind of temperature it builds up. And but we got air conditioning. I didn't know, I hadn't noticed, but I can really tell now. No wonder I got hot in here. So we got plenty of air now. Just went up the Auto Parts. I didn't know if they need this. I went just to drive the truck. I really haven't driven it. And you know, you gotta, I got this cheap diesel fuel in here that was $5.50 a gallon or whatever, and the missus bought some the other day. She had to stop, and it was $6.09. So, you know, I don't want to burn the expensive stuff yet, so I'm going to burn the cheap stuff. And so anyway, went to go in the auto parts store. Door was locked. Oh, what the heck? Now look at my watch. It's only 7:30, so I'll have to come back later. What day is it? What day is it?
It's a long day.
Woohoo! One thing we forgot. It's a full moon, I believe.
It is a full moon.
Beautiful out this morning.
Get a picture.
I don't think there's a cloud in the sky.
Nope.
So we had to mention that.
Very pretty morning.
So you gotta get out there if you can. Don't listen to the weatherman and
Stay
never
inside.
news report and stay inside. You know, could be the rest of your life. We don't know. Because in a few months it'll be winter time and they'll be telling you the same thing.
Stay in.
Stay in because it's too cold.
It's too.
So transmission in the truck is great. Thanks, Justin. The transmission gauge, like yesterday, was
Thanks,
low.
Justin.
Thanks, Justin. Low, mid-90s in the middle of the afternoon, late afternoon, and transmission temperature right around 140. So that's good. We've used the Blackstone, but actually not camping yet. We used it at home for an evening meal.
Evening meal and breakfast with the kids.
Yep. We fixed what we have that morning.
We had bacon, eggs, pancakes, hash browns, all cooked on
On the Blackstone.
the Blackstone.
Oh, the night
Pretty quick.
before. Yeah, pretty handy.
Pretty nice.
And we eat outside.
And we eat outside.
And then the meal the night before, we fixed pork burgers. And I had onions
And green
peppers on there, just kind of, like they do at the fair. Just over there, just browning and cooking. I thought they were good. Yeah, we like the Blackstone.
So far, it's
And we're
worked
in
out
the-
pretty handy.
Yeah. And we're in the ghost truck now, by the way. And what time is it?
It is 5:40 a.m.
5:40 a.m.
Going to work.
Going to work. Some of us are going to work.
Papa's taking me to
Some
work.
of us aren't going to work.
It's a dirty job, but somebody's going to do it.
Oh yeah, what else do we want to do?
Want you to like, subscribe, and ding the bell, and you can get notifications of new videos posted.
Yeah. So make sure you do that. See ya.
Have a great day.
God bless you. God bless America. Say a prayer for somebody today. See ya.